You have a money problem, a sleep problem, a health scare you have not told anyone about, a feeling that time is slipping, and a relationship that is quieter than it used to be. You treat these as 5 separate fires. You fight them one at a time. You make lists. You buy books. You set alarms. And every morning you wake up and all 5 are still burning. I started all of them with one match. You are the man with 5 crises who has never once turned around to see they share a single fuse. You have never asked the only question that matters. Why did they arrive in sequence, not all at once? What if every crisis in your life right now traces back to one fear you have never confronted? I am going to name that fear, and then I am going to dare you to touch it. The chain, the ignition point, the links you cannot see, and the reason every fix you have tried resets within weeks. You think you know which fear started it. You are wrong. And the real ignition point is what makes the chain unbreakable. You tell yourself you have always been a practical person. You took the stable job because it was responsible. You worked the extra hours because that is what serious people do. You said yes to things you did not want because keeping the peace was smart. That is what you believe. Here is what actually happened. When you were 21 or 22, a fear lit inside you. For most of you, it was poverty. For some of you, it was criticism. One of those two struck the match. And the behavioral response you chose to quiet that fear became the first link in a chain you have never seen. The job you took was not a career decision. It was a fear response. The extra shifts were not discipline. They were the ignition fear demanding proof that you were safe. And the moment you consented to that framing, the chain started building. Link 1 created the conditions for Link 2. The overwork destroyed your sleep. The skipped meals caught up. The body started sending signals. And suddenly you had a health concern that felt completely unrelated to the money fear that started it. You remember the job you took. You remember the reason you gave. That was the match. But the chain does not stop at 2 links. The health fear lit a third. You started noticing time. Birthdays hit different. Friends hit milestones. And a quiet panic about wasting years crept in that you told no one about. That was not a midlife crisis. That was Link 3 firing on schedule. A man afraid of poverty works himself into a health scare. A man with a health scare starts fearing time. A man fearing time cannot be present in his relationship. The links build themselves. I only needed the first one. Now you see the links. But the chain has a defense mechanism. And it is the reason you have never traced it back to the match, even though I just laid it out in front of you. You have a word for what you feel most days. Overwhelmed. You use it with friends. You use it with yourself. You say things are just a lot right now. You tell yourself that once things calm down, you will think clearly. You will sit down, take stock, and figure out your direction. Things will never calm down. And that is not an accident. The chain protects itself. Here is how. Fear shuts down clear thinking. That is not a metaphor. The stress response from the ignition fear narrows your attention to whatever link is screaming the loudest right now. You become a firefighter. You lose the wide-angle view. And the wide-angle view is the only thing that could trace the chain backward to the match. I am exposing a mechanism, not offering therapy. This is a behavioral autopsy, not a prescription. You have not had a clear thought about your own direction in months, maybe years. You assumed that was stress. It was the chain making sure you never looked backward. And then the pattern hardens. The reactive state repeats enough times that it locks. You stop being a person under stress. You become a person who is stressed. It stops being something that happens to you. It becomes who you are. That is hypnotic rhythm completing its cycle. The chain no longer needs me. You run its maintenance on your own. You call it being overwhelmed. I call it my immune system working perfectly. But you tried to break it already. You have tried many times. And that attempt created the most dangerous link of all. You know the feeling. The Monday morning where something shifts. Where you say this time is different. You buy the gym membership. You download the habit tracker. You set the alarm for 5 a.m. You write the plan. You tell yourself you are finally getting your life together. You believe that. Here's what I see. You are attacking link 4 while link 1 still burns. You are treating the sleep problem, the fitness problem, the productivity problem. You are treating every link except the one that started the chain. And you are doing it with such energy and conviction that it feels like progress. That is the false restart. And it is my favorite link. I love the restart. It gives you 2 good weeks, sometimes 3. You feel momentum. You feel capable. You feel like the old patterns are finally breaking. Then the ignition fear reasserts. The money anxiety tightens. The overwork creeps back. The sleep collapses. And the chain rebuilds itself in the exact same order it built the first time. You are back where you started, but you do not blame the chain. You blame yourself. You say you lack discipline. You say you lost focus. You say you will try harder next time. And next time you will attack the same downstream links with the same tools and the chain will survive again. How many Mondays have you started over? How many times has the chain rebuilt by week 3? You never blamed the chain. You blamed yourself. That is the design. The restart gives you something you do not want to admit. It gives you an identity. You are the guy who keeps trying. You are the guy dealing with a lot. And that identity earns you just enough sympathy to justify never confronting the ignition fear. Every tool you have used attacked the wrong end of the chain. There is only one direction that breaks it, and it requires confronting the one fear you have been running from since the chain started. You now see 3 things. The chain exists, and your problems are not separate. The chain defends itself by killing the clear thinking you would need to trace it. And every restart you have attempted serviced the chain instead of breaking it. All 3 of these serve one purpose. They keep you from looking backward. The immune system prevents you from seeing the ignition. The false restart exhausts you before you try. Both exist to protect the first link, the one you lit years ago and never touched again. The chain breaks in one direction only, backward, toward the ignition, not toward the latest symptom, not toward the loudest fire, toward the match. For most of you, the ignition is poverty fear or criticism fear. One of those 2. You already know which one. You have known since I described the first link. You have been waiting for me to say it so you do not have to. I will not name it for you. You already know. The question is whether you will say it out loud. A name is a wish, not a decision. The dare is where the chain meets friction. Here is the chain one more time. One fear lit. The behavior it triggered created damage. The damage triggered the next fear. Your solution to each fear delivered the next link. The chain protected itself by keeping you reactive. And every restart attacked the wrong end. The chain does not break at the loudest link. It breaks at the first one. Here is the dare. First, write down 3 problems running in your life right now. Draw an arrow from each one to the behavior that caused it. Follow the arrows backward until you reach the fear with no arrow pointing into it. Circle it. That is the ignition. Second, name the one decision you have been avoiding because that ignition fear says it is too dangerous. Write it directly under the circle. Third, set a deadline. 72 hours. Take one step toward that decision, not to solve it, to touch the thing the chain was built to keep you from touching. The dare works because it reverses the chain's direction. The chain runs forward from ignition to symptoms. The dare runs backward from symptoms to ignition. You are not fixing a sleep problem or a fitness problem or a time problem. You are confronting the fear that built all of them. The word decide means to cut off. Until you cut off the option of running from the ignition fear, you have not decided anything. You have restarted. And the chain will rebuild by week 3. I told you the chain. I told you the ignition. I told you the dare. You have no excuse left except the one I gave you.